All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful framework for understanding our own minds, straight from the Fractal Blueprint series. This is The Three Pains, a user's manual for suffering. You know that feeling, right? That vague sense of distress where something just feels off? It's kind of like looking at your car's dashboard and the only warning light you get is one big, unhelpful light that just says problem. You know something's wrong, but you have no idea what. And here's the thing, it's a fundamental truth. You can't fix a problem you can't define. And that's the core issue with how we talk about our own pain. We use these blurry one-size-fits-all labels like stress or burnout, and they just don't cut it. And those labels, yeah, they're about as useful as that generic problem light. So let's talk about why our current language for pain is actually failing us. Our culture just hands us these generic terms. And trying to solve your problem with just the word stress is like trying to fix an engine without knowing if it needs oil, gas, or new battery. You might pour more oil into a car that's just out of gas, and not only does that not fix it, you can actually make things a whole lot worse. So, what's the alternative? Well, what if we had a user's manual for our own minds? A new, super precise framework that lets us run a proper diagnostic on why we're hurting. And where did this manual come from? It was, and I love this quote, reverse engineered from the crucible of lived experience. So this isn't some abstract academic theory. No, this is a practical toolkit, literally forged in the fires of real-world struggle, and it's designed to give us functional clarity. The goal here is to replace those blurry labels with a precise, functional, engineering-based language. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Using the language of computer systems to talk about human feeling sounds a little cold, maybe even dehumanizing, but it's actually the complete opposite. It's about gaining the precision we need to be truly compassionate and, more importantly, effective with ourselves. And this brings us to the very heart of the framework, the three kinds of pain. This is the diagnostic toolkits that's going to allow us to finally tell the difference between our pains, putting them into clear, distinct categories. Okay, this table right here, this is basically the master key to the whole system. We've got three types of pain, and you'll see each one has a totally different source and needs a completely different solution. Think of these as specific error codes for your own operating system. You've got clean pain, which needs to be witnessed, corrupted pain, which has to be debugged, and systemic pain, which is all about resource management. Let's break each one down. First up, clean pain. This is the pain that, well, it makes sense. It's necessary. It's your healthy system responding exactly as it should. Think about grief after you lose someone, or the physical pain of a broken bone. It hurts, for sure, but it's not chaotic. It's proportional to what happened. This is not a bug in your system. It's a feature. It's proof that you're working correctly. Okay, next is corrupted pain. And this is a whole different beast. This is that chaotic, looping, self-perpetuating pain of a mind at war with itself. It's a software bug, a piece of malware that might come from past trauma, or just some flawed logic you picked up, like, I'm not good enough. It feels sticky, illogical, deeply self-critical, and it's often way, way out of proportion to what's actually happening. The source material calls this curiosity corrupted by threat data. I mean, what a perfect description of anxiety. And finally, there's systemic pain. This is what most of us just call burnout. It's that deep, physical, bone-deep exhaustion you feel when your system, which is perfectly healthy, is just chronically overloaded. The framework describes this as a high CPU mind, one built for processing, being forced to act as high RAM, a storage unit, 24/7. Your system isn't broken. It's logically shutting down non-essential processes. It's an energy conservation protocol to keep you from crashing completely. So, to recap, each type of pain needs its own specific tool. For clean pain, you witness it. You don't fix grief, you move through it with compassion and time. For corrupted pain, you debug it. You have to hunt down that flawed piece of code and rewrite it. And for systemic pain, you manage your resources. You need rest, boundaries, and what the source calls cognitive offloading to lighten the load on your system. Okay, so why does all this precision matter so much? Because using the wrong tool for the job isn't just a little bit ineffective, it can be an absolute disaster. Let's look at an example. Say you're experiencing systemic pain, total burnout, but you misdiagnose it as corrupted pain, thinking there's something wrong with you. What happens? You start blaming yourself for being tired. You add this heavy layer of self-criticism right on top of your exhaustion, digging yourself into an even deeper hole. Or what about this one? You're dealing with clean pain, like grief, but you treat it like systemic pain, like it's just a resource problem to be solved. You might try to biohack your way out of it or optimize it away. You're trying to fix a feeling that doesn't need fixing. It needs to be felt. And the result is unprocessed grief that just sticks around. And this last mismatch, this one might be the most dangerous of all. You have corrupted pain, a destructive internal loop, but you treat it like clean pain. You try to witness it to validate the flawed logic. When you do that, you're actually reinforcing the bug. You're essentially letting malware install itself deeper and deeper into your operating system.
So, you see, this isn't just about understanding your pain. This is about taking control. This is about becoming your own system admin.
This toolkit really gives you 4 incredible things. First, precision, the ability to run a proper diagnostic on yourself. Second, clarity, so you can replace that vague distress with a precise map. Third, agency, the power to apply the right solution to the right problem. And finally, empowerment. You become an active, skilled administrator of your own mind.
It's all about a fundamental shift in perspective. You can literally stop being a victim of your pain and become an empowered system administrator of your own mind. You move from just passively suffering to active, skillful management. So this framework is amazing for diagnosing your current state. But it leads to an even bigger question. What about the source of our deepest corrupted pain, the thing our culture calls trauma? What if it isn't damage at all? What if instead it's a radical, high-stakes, and completely self-preservational system upgrade? That's what we'll explore next time.